China has detained a Canadian man under accusation of spying. His wife has been released on bail after the couple was held for months without charge. In Kiev, world leaders are launching a diplomatic intervention to settle relations between Ukraine and Russia. After their meeting today, John Kerry, François Hollande, and Angela Merkel will fly to Moscow on Friday. And Target Canada has begun a massive liquidation sale as it begins to pull out of the Canadian market.
Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Kendra Hamilton, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. A Canadian woman has been released from a Chinese prison. Julia and Kevin Garrett have been in jail for 5 months, accused of espionage. Julia Garrett was released on bail after being detained with her husband on accusations of stealing state military secrets. He's still being held and has been moved to a detention center in an unknown location. Canadian authorities say they welcome the decision to release the woman and will continue to raise the issue with senior Chinese officials. The Garretts own and operate Peter's Coffee Shop in a town on the border near North Korea. Leaders of 3 Western nations are in Ukraine today, trying to work toward a new peace plan. The French president and German chancellor were greeted by their Ukrainian counterpart as they arrived at the presidential palace. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry made the trip to Kiev earlier in the day. The trip comes on the heels of a NATO meeting in Brussels, where they decided to open new command centers in Eastern Europe. All this is designed to bolster NATO's eastern flank, but falls short of sending arms to Ukraine.
We talked about the largest threat that Ukraine faces today, and that is Russia's continued aggression in the east.
The new force is expected to have around 5,000 soldiers with air, sea, and special forces capabilities. The meetings come as tension is building between Russia and the West over fighting in Ukraine. Rescue workers are salvaging what they can of the Trans-Asia Airways plane that crashed yesterday shortly after taking off. The plane, carrying 58 passengers and crew, lurched between buildings and clipped an overpass before plunging into a river in Taiwan. The crash killed 31 and injured 15 others. Divers are still searching the river for 12 victims who remain missing. Rescuers lifted the plane's wreckage onto tracks near the riverbank. The remains will be transported to Taiwan Aviation Safety Council for further investigation. 2 people are dead and 2 more severely burned after a truck was bombed this morning in Bangladesh. Opposition activists threw gasoline bombs at a truck, causing nearby buses to catch fire. Protests by the opposition have increased over the past month in a bid to force the Prime Minister to step down. At least 53 people have been killed in political violence within the past few weeks. Pope Francis is urging Roman Catholic bishops to fully cooperate with a commission set up to protect children from sexual abuse by members of the clergy. The Pope has sent a letter to all the bishops. In it, he says everything possible must be done to rid the Church of the scourge of sexual abuse of minors. Since his election, Francis has promised zero tolerance against sex offenders in the Roman Catholic Church. He set up the commission last year. Here at home, the crowds are finally headed to Target for some bargains. The U.S. retailer has started getting rid of all of its assets, everything from the merchandise to the shelves. Humber reporter Abida Donji hit them all this morning to check it out.
Target stores are emptying what's left on their shelves today after shoppers gathered early in the morning to take advantage of the U.S. retailer's liquidation. The closing sale consists of items reduced by as much as 30% from their regular sales price. However, many bargain hunters left the stores disappointed after discovering most of the items were marked down to only 10%.
Well, the prices are reduced, but they're not really that cheap. 10% off is okay, but I think most people are looking for larger savings.
They're not that well priced, I think, but I think it's okay, because all of what we're doing is going to go back to the workers anyways.
Target expanded into Canada less than 2 years ago after purchasing and remodeling old Zellers locations. Customers' expectations were never met, which resulted in struggling sales.
Target announced its decision last month to leave Canada. All 133 Canadian stores will be closed down after the company suffered billions of dollars in financial losses. Abida Donji, Humber News.
Here at Humber, eager students lined up to get a leg up on Ontario's competitive job market at the college's annual summer job fair. Our VJ Izzy Abraha was there with the story.
For Humber students looking for a summer job, the Humber Career Center may have just saved you from a long summer of unemployment. The Career Center presented the summer job fair for Humber students at the North Campus, hosting over 30 employers from different job markets. Shantae Morgan, Humber Career Center event coordinator, provided some points on how students should prepare for the job fair.
Come into our center, get their resume prepared, cover letter possibly, maybe learn how to send out an email. So those are definitely some services that they can take advantage of at our center.
Having a positive mindset when looking for a job can be the difference between landing employment or not. Giving employers your full availability is key to setting a good impression.
You want to talk to every single employer as though you're really interested in that job. Right? When you walk up and you say, where are you? Are you 20 minutes from me? I only take the bus. I don't have a car. Don't start with the excuses as to why you can't do it. Look for a reason as to why you shouldn't be able to. Go for it, positive.
Students have the opportunity to apply for many jobs ranging from retail, food services, and even the opportunity to work at the airport with flexible hours that can work around your school schedule.
And if the airport's open, we're open as well, right? We have a number of different jobs. We have valet jobs, we have customer service jobs, so there's a lot of opportunities for students.
With that being said, a job is within your grasp. How much do you really want it? Izzy Abraha, Humber News.
When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Chelsea will have your 3-day forecast.
Thanks, Kendra. We're already below our expected low for the day. It's currently minus 15 degrees right now, but feels like minus 25. I'll tell you more about what to expect for the rest of the week and our full 3-day forecast coming up after the break.
100 manatees are responsible for temporarily shutting down a wildlife park. The pack gathered at Three Cedar Springs in Florida to combat chilly water temperatures. This prompted the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services to temporarily close off the spring to visitors. Depending on the tides and how many manatees stick around to warm up, the closure will remain in place.